This is the Shelly Flood Gen 4. It's an insanely good leak sensor that has replaced many other sensors in my home. It can be extended up to 490 feet, can be connected to just about any app or smart home hub, is a rain or a leak sensor, and will last for up to 2 years on a single set of batteries. I'm going to show you under my kitchen sink where I've replaced actually 2 leak sensors, and honestly one of them wasn't doing a great job. Inside of here, that's the big sensor right there. It's at the back. You can see the cables traveling along, and I've put some little cable clips, and we come all the way out, come out of here, and actually this works really well. It's not holding my door out, and I have it right here. Now I need one more cable clip. This covers my dishwasher, covers under my sink, all these different valves, so I love this. We're in the depths of despair in my furnace room, which is actually also my gym. But let me show you here, I've covered a ton with this sensor. So we start right here on the side. You can see the sensor, and I gotta tidy this up. We come around and we actually go all the way around our water heater, coming around this side, and then we even follow along here to all these other leak sources. So this entire pipe, and I've even attached it to this pipe. You know, this is a pretty likely leak source right here. So anything leaks off of that, I've caught it instantly. And the whole thing goes all the way around my sump. You can see it's covering the entire area. So I'm gonna catch that really early. Today, I'll show you how to use this sensor properly and how to get it into any app or hub. And I'll show you how to get things like 3D printed files to make this one even better. In the end, you're gonna save your home from leaks. So let's get it. Here's what you get in the box with the Gen 4. There's a full manual, and it's very comprehensive. You also get a Matter code sticker, which you'll want to save, or even better, put it on your sensor. Then you'll get an extension cable for the leak sensor, and then you'll get the leak sensor cable itself. You might never have seen a leak sensor with a cable like that. There are 2 types of leak sensors, okay? These ones with a couple of pins on the bottom and or on the top, and these types of leak sensor cables. They all work on the same principle. Water touching the 2 cables or pins creates a conductive path, and it completes a circuit. And that in turn tells the sensor that there's water present. For mounting purposes, you have both a 3M sticker and a set of screws and anchor mounts. Then you get the sensor itself, and this one's definitely bigger than your average leak sensor. At the top is where you'll plug in the extension cable if you want to use it, and then eventually the leak sensor cable. You can remove both the front cover and the back cover. That slides off for mounting purposes. Inside of the front cover, you'll find the 4 AA batteries that Shelly includes. And there is this small button on the front, but it's actually an LED and a button. Now the button is used to do things like pair the sensor or to switch it between its different wireless technologies. The LED indicates status and changes. Don't worry, it's not just the LED that will notify you if you ever have a leak. We just heard that audible alarm, and of course all the apps can send you notifications, and you can automate to take other actions. You've already seen how I covered my furnace room. The sensor is mounted physically on my furnace, and then the extension cable goes down to the floor, and then the sensor cable is placed along the floor with both those cable clips that I 3D printed or the ones that you can buy online. I also did this in my laundry room, under my kitchen and bathroom sinks, and I even tested this with 9 extension cables attached to a single unit. And I wrapped it all the way around my living room just to see how much I could do. And it is allowing me to catch the leak sooner and to replace my other leak sensors with just one of these. Drip, drip, drip. That was fast. There it goes. Yes. Other leak sensors that I've tested in the past haven't had this ability to go so far with so many extension cables. Maybe you've tested one and I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. One of the amazing things about this sensor are the different ways that you can connect this to the rest of your smart home. Using Bluetooth, the Gen 4 can be found by the Shelly app or Matter apps on your phone. If you use the Shelly app, you'll then connect the device to Wi-Fi, and from there you can use Amazon, Google, SmartThings, Homey, and a few other integrations to bring the device in and get status and create automations. Pretty wild for a leak sensor actually, because those don't usually get into Amazon and Google, but Shelly thought about this, brought them in as different device types. The second method is to use Matter over Wi-Fi. That allows you to connect into just about any app out there today. Now the app has to be able to handle Matter and leak sensors, but I have yet to find one in this list that isn't working. The third method is to switch the Flood Gen 4 over to Zigbee. Now that means you can connect it to hubs like Home Assistant, Homey, and SmartThings, and then you would use it just like any other leak sensor in your home. That's a wild amount of connectivity, and honestly, every single person should be able to find a way to work this into an app, create good automations that then protect your homes. And I find this very different than most leak sensors. A lot of them can only use Zigbee or Z-Wave, and then they have such small coin batteries that they don't often last. And even using Matter over Wi-Fi, I can tell you that the device goes to sleep and it doesn't actively sit on your Wi-Fi. So not only is this not a big concern for those of you who are worried, maybe I got too many devices on my Wi-Fi, but that also helps it save battery life. I'm noticing about 8% battery life over a month, and I do a lot of testing, right? So I'm moving it, I'm putting water on it constantly. And I think it's going to be better with Zigbee, although I haven't tracked that yet. And speaking of Zigbee, you'll see in a little bit that it's just going to take you a couple of moments to switch between Matter over Wi-Fi to Zigbee and then back again. One thing to keep in mind with this sensor is it goes to sleep. And this is really important to understand how to deal with, because I come into Home Assistant here, it looks like I can't share the device. It looks like I can't do anything with it. And you'd think that it was offline, but actually, see how it's showing a little red LED? It's gonna switch to green once it's connected. And now I can share the device. I can also see other things, other statuses. And if I want, I can then identify the device. So this helps you to understand how you can get this connected to other Matter apps or what the device is doing. I don't want you assuming that it's not connected to your home anymore or not going to report either, because if this alarms, it reconnects to Wi-Fi and sends that status. You've seen a bunch of my use cases, but I'm sure you guys have more ideas for how you're going to use a sensor like this in your own home. I'd love to hear about those so I can try some of them out myself. I think it's really great that we can take the single cable here, drill through the sides of cabinets, under our taps. That's actually a pretty good money saver, and it's a pretty good time saver when you consider you're only going to have to change one set of batteries every year to 2 years, and you're going to be able to cover the entire area with one sensor. But there are a couple of things to keep in mind when you install this. The closer to the ground that the cable is, the sooner you will detect the water. The water has to connect the different parts of these cables here, right? This is why it's braided. So keep it close to the ground, and when the water touches it, you should get a very fast detection. I tried an older leak sensor cable. Didn't work with this, okay? So buy them from Shelly and then things will be easy. These cables from Shelly are fairly stiff and they will take a little effort during your install to get them running along the ground. On that note, the little clips that I'm showing in today's video are very inexpensive and I'll link them below. It's very easy to use those little clips. I just put a little 3M sticky tape on the bottom of those 3D printed ones, and that helped me keep it along the ground more. The other ones with the twist ties kind of pulled it off the ground at times. My advice is to just use the 3D printed ones or use a normal cable clip and just get it tight down to the ground. It is a bigger sensor, so plan where you're going to mount it, but signal strength is going to be one of the most critical things to check. If you're going to use Wi-Fi, use an app like Wi-Fi Man to check the Wi-Fi signal strength, or enable things like LQI and RSSI in your hubs if you're using Zigbee. The biggest advantage of this is that you can go around rooms entirely. You can go under little mats or carpets, and if you have baseboards, you can usually get this cable under them even. Run this cable under common or potential leak sensors in your home along surfaces that get wet, and you're gonna have that great set of audible, visual, and app-based alarms. So I've just pulled the battery tab on this, and normally on an Android phone, you're gonna get a little Matter pop-up. When you get that, you can push it into whatever app you'd like. But you might not get that pop-up. You might be using an iPhone, or maybe that just doesn't work on here. Now, if you hold this button for 10 seconds, you will factory reset the device, and then you should get that pop-up in a few moments. So would you look at that? There it is. I was gonna take a drink. No drink for me. Now you can see I've stuck my Matter code right here, and we can just hit that scan QR code, point our camera at it, and we're done. And then we can choose an app to push this into. Now, Home Assistant is a great one to push it into. If you're using an iPhone, go into the Apple Home app, hit add new device, and then scan that tag. All this should work. So I'm just gonna use Home Assistant. Very good for getting the device into a Matter ready app the first time, and then you can kind of push it to other apps and other systems. Now you can see that we're generating the Matter credentials. It might ask you for your network if this is the first time you set up a Matter device. And now we're just going to add the device into Home Assistant. Each process, each app will be slightly different. So inside of Home Assistant, I can just press this button and it identifies, and if you have multiple in your home, that might really help you. So this one's gonna end up in my furnace room. So I've set a name, I've set the area, I'm gonna hit update, and now that's what it's called. Obviously I can see that the sensor is dry. You wanna do a quick test, but if I wanted to put this in another app, I can hit share device. I can copy the code, and then I can head over, let's say, to Homey. So I'm gonna hit devices, I'm gonna hit plus, I'm gonna hit new device, and Matter. And now I'm gonna connect via Homey Pro. My device is in pairing mode because I just did that in Home Assistant. And now it's basically gonna make that same pairing effort that just happened inside of Home Assistant. And that'll be a similar process for every app you put the device into. So now it's added Shelly Flood, and it actually found an app that was specific for this. So that means we're gonna get a lot of features here inside of Homey. You wanna say yes to things like that. So now this one I'm gonna place, where is it? In my furnace area as well. And it changed the name. There we go. I can change the icon if I'd like, and I'm gonna hit finish. And then, inside of apps like this, we get the little bit of information. So I'm just gonna hit got it. And now if I go to my furnace area, we can see that I do not have a water alarm. Now there is a good couple of reasons to get the device into the Shelly app, okay? And because I used Home Assistant, this is one of the really great reasons, you can find the IP address for this attached to your Wi-Fi. Now you don't necessarily need that, but when you go into the Shelly app, you're gonna wanna start the adding process. And in general, it will find the device using Bluetooth. We can hit add device, and we can add via Bluetooth, but I think it's gonna be a little more successful to add via the Wi-Fi, an AP scan, or to scan your network. And then I'm gonna add by IP, and I'm gonna paste in the IP. Okay, now it has that, and I'm gonna hit add device. The reason I do that is because I don't have to re-add in the Wi-Fi credentials, which is a little messy for Matter over Wi-Fi devices. So I'm gonna call this the furnace leak sensor. Again, I can change like pictures and things like that, and then I'm gonna hit next, and I'm gonna add it to my flood sensors in the app, and now they're just associating this device with the account. But what if you wanna use Zigbee? The device is not connected to anything right now. Okay, it's just sitting here powered up. I just pulled the battery tab. One of the most powerful things about this sensor is that you can switch between Matter and Zigbee. And so this is a super powerful feature, but you have to know how to do it. You can factory reset by holding this button for 10 seconds if you have it already connected. And then what you should see happen is a pop-up, or at least the device being ready to be found inside of the Shelly app, or you will see the Matter pop up. So there's my Shelly. It's ready to be added to this, but we're not going to add it. What we're going to do though is convert to Zigbee. Now your key is right here. So we can see that the light is on. That means the device is awake. And I'm going to do 5 presses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you see the flashing purple. That's what you want. It took me a couple of tries here. I'm opening up Home Assistant. I'm going to go to Settings, Devices and Services, Add Integration, and Add Zigbee Device. Now that's telling us we're in inclusion mode. So it's been found. You can see right here really quickly, the device is ready to use. So this one, I think this is gonna go in my laundry room. I'm gonna hit that. And now I have a Shelly Flood loaded in to Home Assistant. In Home Assistant, when I'm just using ZHA, Zigbee Home Automation, you can see I have the Shelly Flood and it's on or off, basically is the status here. I have the battery, that status will come in here in a little bit. And then we do have some diagnostic information if you're not having much luck. In terms of automations, I have a couple of device triggers, right? Shelly Flood turned on, turn off, identify has been pressed, or you can see the battery level changes. In terms of conditions, you have on or off, or the battery being a certain level. And the only action you really have is the identify action. So now all I have to do is plug in my cables, and this one is ready to go. So now you've seen the device get fully set up. You can move it between hubs or Matter over Wi-Fi and the apps there. And I will recommend that you get it into the Shelly app whenever you can, because you do get some additional settings on the device. You can change the flood alarm mode. If you don't want an audible alarm here, put it in economic mode. You can also set the state hold time. Now what that means is that the sensor has to be detecting water for however long you put in that setting. This can help you if you have a little water drip every once in a while or a little humidity, but you don't want the sensor to trigger off of that. For the most part with a leak sensor, you'll want to do just 2 actions. Here with Homey, I have used the sensor to close my existing Akara water valve actuator. Now in this case, both the leak sensor and the actuator are powered by battery, and so even during a power outage, those two can still work. I do have to have my hub on a battery backup in order to get that to work, but that's it. The other thing you'll want to make sure you have are notifications. The Shelly app does that automatically when you add the sensor into that app. And of course, you can build simple automations in that app that both send you something to your phone, turn on lighting to specific colors, or to specific effects. For most of you, you'll be doing this in apps like Apple HomeKit or one of the major hub apps. You'll find the links down below to one of the best sensors I've ever seen. This is gonna go with you on your journey in your smart home, whether you're using hubs or you're using Matter over Wi-Fi, and it'll go with you in the future. The Shelly Flood Gen 4 has been incredibly solid for me, and you know, had I had this sensor earlier in the year, it would have made my list of the top smart tech in 2025. You can watch that video on screen right there, as it'll show you the very best that there is right now. Otherwise, thanks for watching today. And of course, live smart. You get a Matter code. I can't find anything. Frick. We're doing it again.